Hey, today's my day off, but I just realized that my apartment's draining me. That's the title of this video. And it may not last how long I do it. But I realized that my apartment's draining me. It's actually there's some kind of evil force that's here at this apartment complex. And I'm deciding that because there's so many evil people in this complex that I'm going to get rid of the cat that I have because I don't want the trouble. Because the evil lady who has the retarded brother who lives next door to me that feeds all the cats, she's always walking past my door all the time, and I feel this evil presence coming from her. And I've had them call the cops on me before because it was last year. They called the police on me, and one of my neighbors called the police on me because I was yelling on the phone because I went outside my apartment because I thought that my other son's father was charging me child support, and I was upset. I called him and I said, "Why are you doing this? You know, I only make $11 an hour. I don't make any money. You just financially ruined me." And I was arguing with him and whatever. He said he didn't do that. He said it was just the county. They just wanted to update their records or something. And later on, I did realize that that's what happened. That he wasn't going after me. But I was pretty upset on the phone because because they had full custody of my son, and I didn't know that they were going to start financially ruining me on top of it. And yeah, right now I'm looking at these Mormons walking past my door. I got to lock my door, close my blinds. So hold on a second. There's Mormons coming around. I got to lock my door and close my blinds. What a guy. These stinking Mormons and these Seventh-day Adventists. They target us because we're poor. I think that's why they keep coming over here. And I see them coming over here like a herd of cattle. All these Seventh-day Adventist people, all these Mormons and stuff. Just saw them. I had to close the blinds because if they see my blinds are open or my door's cracked open a little bit, they're gonna knock on my door. And I ain't answering the door because I'm not doing this crap. They keep bothering me all the time, these people. And anyways, I was on the subject before I shut my door and closed my blinds. Is I've made a decision to give away my cat because he drives me insane. He drives my boyfriend insane because he wants out all the time in the middle of the night, and it's because he wants to go next door and eat. And I think the best course of action is to give him away to somebody because he is fixed and he's healthy and all that. I don't want my neighbor, one of these neighbors around here, turning me in because she said that this other cat that I had, they did the same thing. They were feeding it. The neighbor guy was feeding it, and the cat after a while didn't come back. So I basically let him have the cat. And that retarded guy's sister said that I could have got in trouble or whatever for animal abuse or something. And it was turned out that she and her brother were the ones feeding my cat, the first cat I had, and he never came back. He ran away, and she ended up adopting him out to somebody else because she took him home. And it's like, well, no wonder he didn't come back. You took him home. She's like, I can get you on animal abuse. You could have went to jail for that. And then she's like, I named him Jackson. It's like, well, good for you. You and your brother stole my cat and kept feeding him. And I gave up on him after a while because he kept sleeping over next door, eating and hanging out there all the time. He never wanted to come back here. And then I got my boyfriend. I told him, I said, please don't bring home any more cats after that. I said, I'm done. That burned me on that. I got burned on that cat, first cat. So he brings home this cat, and then not even 2 months after we bring him home, he's big enough to start going outside. So he sneaks outside. He sneaks out the door when the door opens. And the crazy neighbor guy leaves the door open all the time, and the cat starts going in there because he sees it's wide open. Uh, yeah, it's a nightmare. No pets. I wish I warned him. I said, please don't bring any more cats here because problem is the neighbor guy's gonna feed the cat, and then the cat's gonna get really fat, and then he's gonna turn into a jerk. And that's what happens every single time. And his sister, the retarded guy's sister, warned me. She's like, you better get him fixed, or I hope you have him fixed. I'm like, I did fix him. He's fine. See, my neighbors are nosy. It's like I did get him fixed. I paid for it myself out of my own money. I work. Okay. So she was all crying and stuff, and saying that somebody broke into her brother's apartment or something, and because he doesn't close his door at night. He doesn't close his door ever. And somebody got in there, and I'm looking at her like, how's it my problem that he doesn't shut the door? All the neighborhood cats come in there and eat. So it's sad. I feel bad about wanting to give away the cat, but I don't want the trouble because I don't want them call animal services on me or something because they got my boyfriend's truck impounded a year and a half ago for no reason because it had expired tags, yes, but it was on private property and they had no right to impound it. And the police department had to give the car back because they realized their mistake. So I don't trust anybody here. And I hate this apartment. I mean, I'm not ungrateful for being here, but it's draining me. It's draining me, my soul. It's making me upset. And I'm not liking it too much, if you know what I mean. So, uh, yeah, I'm not feeling too good right now. I'm feeling kind of crappy about it, about giving away the cat. I placed the advertisement on Facebook because it seems like that's the go-to place to advertise stuff that you want to give away or whatever. And I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want another cat, but he brought home the cat, and it's been nothing but a nightmare since he brought the cat home because yeah, yeah, apartments suck. I hate living in an apartment. I'd rather live in a a two-bedroom shack that's got its own piece of dirt where I don't have people like right up on me because I can't have anything without everybody knowing about it. And I just took down my old curtains because they're crappy because they're all torn up because the cat's been hanging off of them. He ripped them all to pieces, my curtains. So I took them down and I bought a new set of curtains, and I can't hang them up because my boyfriend don't like them. He don't like curtains, I guess, because he said they don't cover the window all the way. So I had to give up on that because he's like, people are going to be looking in the windows because they do. We have people that look in our window in the middle of the night. They look in our window and try to peek through the slats or whatever. And if I leave the door open, there's people that will walk by and look through the gap in the door. So I can't have a cat no more. And I know that sounds mean and everything to not want the cat anymore, but the cat is so completely nuts. The cat like wants to sneak out it all the time. He wants out all the time because he wants to go next door. He wants to eat at the neighbor's house. And the cat's really fat. He has like a tiny little head and a huge body, which is insane looking. And he's just so greedy and selfish. He just wants to eat all the time. And I doubt I'm going to be able to give the cat away because no one's going to want him because he's a big fat orb. He's like so fat and he's just not a very enjoyable cat to have around. He's just really annoying. He's a pest. So, and it just makes me feel horrible because I see this lady, the neighbor sister, comes by here almost every day and she like mad dogs me when she walks by because she tried to get me in trouble for the stinking cat. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of the cat if I can give him away to someone. He's already fixed. He's healthy. He's fine. And I said, I'll throw in the cat tree and everything else if you want the food, the litter, all of it. I'll give it all to you for free, even though I had to pay for all that and expensive. But, you know, it's just, I don't want the trouble. And if anyone, if you ever lived in an apartment, you kind of want to keep it low profile because it's already hard enough to not fight with your neighbors over little things like noises and stuff. I just don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble because I had the cops called on me just for a phone call that I made to my ex. And I was upset. Yeah, I was mad. And I walked outside the front and I was talking to him and I was using some bad language. It got heated and it did get resolved. The thing about the child support, he did tell me he wasn't going after me. And I'm like, okay, I just long as I don't get a bill in the mail, and I never did get one, which I'm grateful for. He's not going after me. And it's already bad enough that he has my son full time. It's like it would be really awful of him to go after me because I live here. I don't have any money. I mean, I can't afford anything. My car's running like dirt, and he's got a brand new car, and they have a bunch of nice stuff, brand new stuff, and house and all that. So that would be really evil of him to ruin me financially. And my son visits me every once in a while, and he doesn't care where I live, but I think it would be really messed up for him to do that because they would take over half my check and I only make about, if I'm lucky, maybe 800 a month working all the time. because we don't make nothing. We don't get hardly tips or nothing. So he's got to realize that I don't make any money. So, I mean, do you blame me for getting rid of the cat? Because the other cat I had, I plan on keeping the cat, and I paid all the fees and everything to get the cat out of the pound, and the cat was already taken care of, and I paid for all I had to. I had a vet and all that set up for him, and then the neighbor started feeding him, and the cat after a while didn't want to come home, and if he did come in the our apartment, he would run in our apartment real fast, and then he would poop on the floor and run right out after he pooped on the floor, and then he'd run into the neighbor's house. And we couldn't get him to come in. He didn't want to come in. He wanted to just go next door and sleep over there and then poop on the floor at my apartment. And I couldn't understand that, why he would poop on the floor. And I think it's because he was confused. He didn't know where his home was. So we gave up on him, and the neighbor kept him. And then his sister ended up adopting or keeping him. And then she got him adopted out. And then she came up to me all upset saying, "Oh, I had to get the cat adopted and we named him and everything. And, you could have went to jail for animal abuse." And it's like, for what? Because your brother kept feeding my cat? He ended up keeping him. You know what? It's not my fault that he kept feeding my cat. And I gave up on him after a while. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna pay to have this cat get its shots and all that when it ain't even living with me. I can't even touch him. He runs away. That's his problem. It's his cat now. And he's already got another neighbor's cat too that they gave up. They gave the cat to him because the cat never comes home. It's always over there. So another cat lives with him. It's just insane. So I'm not going to be made to feel guilty. And you know what? I have fish, pet fish, and that was fine before the cat came here. And I had just fish, and I'm like, that's enough pet for me because I don't want the neighbors to have something to play with because they already don't like us. And I can't even use the pool here because they're going to try to say that I knocked over the umbrella or something. Like last time, the lady said fat potato lady said I knocked over the umbrella. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming over here. I'm just going to go to the lake. Next time, next summer, we're just going to go to the lake or whatever. I'm not going to use the pool. I hate the fact that I'm going to be here next summer. So I figured eliminating the cat from the situation might de-escalate the situation where they don't have anything to play with. And if you have psycho neighbors like that, you really don't want to give them ammunition. So if they do decide to get a wild hair up their booty and try to turn me in for some kind of animal neglect, the cat's gone. The cat's living with somebody else, and I'm no more cats. I will never ever adopt another cat ever again, and never do it again. You know what I mean? Because it's a nightmare. Because I learned from the last experience, and I paid all the fees and everything, and the shots and all that for the cat, and then it ended up backfiring in my face, and the neighbor ended up keeping my cat full time, and the cat never wanted to come home except for to poop on the floor of my apartment, and he'd run out. And that cat was gone for like 5 months, and then my boyfriend went out and got this other cat, and I told him, I said, no, that's not a good idea. I said, after what happened with the last one, I don't want to have to go through that again because the neighbor's going to feed our cat. And then he's never going to come home, and he's going to get fat, and then he's going to turn into a turd. He's going to jump on top of the refrigerator and rip open the bag of food, and he's going to gorge himself. And then he's going to want to go outside all the time to go next door. This is just not going to work. And it didn't work. And it's causing us to fight because um, the cat drives him nuts because the cat wakes him up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, wants to go outside. And then he hangs off the screen like an hour later and meows on the window because he wants back in. It's just annoying because you don't get any sleep because the cat constantly wants to go back outside and eat next door. So it's not an easy decision for me to make, but it's the only sane decision I'm going to make because I have to keep my sanity. I can't allow this cat to get me in trouble for doing nothing. And it's bad enough. I'm like really upset right now because I have to close my blinds because if I don't close my blinds, the people that live around here are going to be looking at my window, staring at us. So, and my boyfriend ain't home right now. He's out doing some stuff, and And you know what else is weird is you can't have any kids in your video. So I can't exactly include my kids in there, my two boys in the video, because it says not for kids, right? Even though they might have something interesting to say, but you can't do that anymore. So whatever, right? But my son, I told him, I said I might have to get rid of the cat because uh as sucky as it is to get rid of him, and I know you like the cat and everything, but the neighbors here don't like us, and I don't want to have them call the authorities on us and get me in trouble. And you know what I mean? It's just, and you know what comes with that is CPS if you have a cat, because I've heard of people getting in trouble with that thing too. So I'm gonna get rid of the cat. Um, because there's people telling me like, oh, if you live in California, you got to be careful about your kids and stuff like that in school, because the schools are very liberal. It's the same thing with the animals. It's just there's all these tree hugger people, and don't get me wrong, I do like animals, but I don't like people that are narcs that are trying to get people in trouble because they're jealous or something. And I think a lot of these people, and I've noticed all the troublemakers around here are all females. And I think the thing is that they hate us because we're a nuclear family, and a lot of these people here are single women with kids. And I think they deliberately target us to obviously get their point across that they don't like nuclear families. And a lot of these women around here all have a crush on my boyfriend. So they're trying to sabotage me. That's why they've only accused me of animal abuse because they want me to like disappear or something. So they're going to accuse me of doing stuff I didn't do. And the one witch lady that used to live here that got evicted, she crashed my car through the damn garage on purpose. I just have all these psycho ass women that like my boyfriend, and then they do crazy stuff to me to to show it. I just don't understand it. But this video is basically about this apartment and how it's draining me and how it's making me real upset. And even my boyfriend was saying earlier that he had to get out of the house, out of this apartment for a while because it's making him sick. It's making him feel nauseous being here because he says every time I leave here, I always feel better. Well, because there's probably like an evil curse on this damn building. I swear to God, there's some kind of evil, somebody's probably playing with pentagrams or something around here, and it's causing there to be a lot of evil crap going on around here. But I'm just tired of it, and we can't afford nothing. We can't afford to get out of here. I can't. And it's sad because where I work, this one lady that she was the one who helped get me hired, and since she found out her husband has cancer, she ain't been coming into work. I guess recently she's been flaking out, and from what I can tell, she really probably financially can't afford to be not going to work since her husband's sick and they're going to need the money for his treatments. And yeah, she didn't call him back or anything. Her boss called her and she didn't call him back about coming to work. And they have her on the schedule, but she ain't coming in. I feel bad for her, but it's like, well, you don't have a nest egg to sit on. That's probably not a good idea. I sincerely hope she's okay and that she's not doing anything she shouldn't be doing. That it's just that she's looking out for her husband. That's about it. But this cat thing, back to the cat. I'll probably never be able to live this down. I'll be the one that got rid of the cat. But it's going to keep us out of trouble because I can't trust anybody. Because I live in California and a lot of people in California, I don't know, just a lot of people here are tree huggers and stuff, Greenpeace, all that. So I think if I don't hear anything the next few days, I don't know about anyone wanting the cat. I'm gonna have to place another ad because either that or keep the cat cooped up in here so nobody starts screwing with us and making trouble. Well, anyways, I'm gonna cut this off because I see only one person's watching, but I really appreciate it, Die Bullfrog, for watching. And this was random. I didn't know what time I was gonna make a video or what it was gonna be about, but I knew it was gonna be somewhat about this apartment and the environment here. And our bathroom is still extremely moldy and there's a lot of black mold on the ceiling. But I don't want to say anything because I don't want to cause any trouble here because apparently we've caused enough trouble with the cat and everything. Just everybody here's all riled up about us and just I don't know. I don't want the trouble here. But anyways, I'll see you guys later, and I really appreciate you watching, and the 118 people that, or what, how many people were watching? Three. So 115 of you that weren't watching. Hope you have a good day, and the ones who did watch, I appreciate you watching because I know you really care. So thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.